What is going to come in the next update? Let's try to predict with me. Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons. Make sure to subscribe. And guys, I always do these videos. I do 3 predictions that I think are very likely to happen in the upcoming update. And as we are getting closer and closer to the first dev blocks, of course it will take a little bit of time. 2 weeks I would say, something like that. I already did a video about it yesterday, but what are the 3 things that I would actually predict to come in the next update? I don't think it's going to be a very big update on the, compared to the December update. It's normally, the September one is a big one, but not the biggest one in the year normally. Followed very closely by the October update that is normally very small, right? So let's try to predict 3 things. So it's not going to be that big, but it's not going to be small, I don't think, as I said, right? So the first prediction is that we will see a new nation in the game. Well, not a new nation per se, right? A sub-tree probably, but I mean, anything can happen, but probably a sub-tree, right? My best guess obviously would be 2, it would be the Thai Air Force or ground vehicles or anything for Japan. I think Japan is one of the countries that are in the most need for a new sub-tree, right? It's the country that suffers the most with the lack of options for vehicles, and it remains a problem that we probably never see it fixed unless we see a sub-tree. We had the F5E FCU coming from them, and of course we have something else that there were some talks about how it could be that the Thai sub-tree eventually comes to Japanese, maybe not as a sub-tree per se, like a full line of vehicles, but maybe just Thai vehicles in the middle of the tech tree spread around for ground and air vehicles eventually, right? But one of them in this update. So I have a feeling that it's going to be something like that. Another option is, but less, I mean, it's probably less realistic, but it could happen as well. Some form of sub-tree for the Germans as well. The Swiss could be one, or something like that. The Polish, but probably the Swiss or something like that. To be able, I mean, it would be a very small one, and like I said, with the Thai and the Japanese tech tree, it wouldn't be like a full-fledged, line of vehicles. It would probably be a smaller one with just vehicles spread around in the tech tree, and with that obviously it would be something to add the F-18, for example, and F-5s and other vehicles for the Germans. So this would be my first prediction. My second one is that we will have different aircraft added, but in the terms of different flavors to the aircraft that we already have, I think, not that it's confirmed or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure we will not see the next step up in performance of aircraft. That means 4.5 generations and stuff. I still believe that it's going to be taking a little bit more time than now to be added, to add that, right? So of course it opens up. Are they going to not add anything on that regard of top tier aircraft and stuff like that? No, I think they will. It's very likely that we will see something like that. So we probably will see some different flavors to aircraft that we already have. One clear example would be something like an Su-33 that would probably not be a top tier aircraft because it probably doesn't use the R-77. Something like the J-11 or something like that, but still naval aircraft. Maybe an F-18 finally coming to the game, maybe an F-14D. Remember guys, that would create some troubles, but some problem-solving things as well. So remember, I just said that the Swiss could come for the Germans, right? Imagine an F-18 coming for the US, for Finland, but then for Germany as well. It would actually help them a lot, especially if it's the Swiss version with upgrades and stuff that could actually take MO-20s and stuff. So it would be the next really top tier aircraft for Germany before we get the Eurofighter in the future. It would make sense, but it's the same type of aircraft that we already have. It's nothing crazy new, you know. Of course, it's a new aircraft, but in the regards that it has the same performance and the same capabilities of aircraft that we already have. An Su-33 would be that. An Su-30 would be that. Other different aircraft, that versions of aircraft that we already have, or stuff like that for top tier. I think that could be an actual thing, and I don't think we are far off from having some form of naval patch or something like that, even, I don't know, for aircraft. So yeah, I still believe that something somewhat not big but quite sizable will come in this patch, but not like end of the year patch. So it would make sense to have like 2 or 3 nations, 4 nations receiving new aircraft that are on par with the aircraft that we already have in the game, you know. And the last one I kind of designed a full-fledged prediction on a specific aircraft that I think is kind of likely to come for the game, and that is the Mirage 2005 for China. Yes, China can actually receive an aircraft such as this, and why do I think it's very likely that we will see something like that happening in the game? Because we got the J11A, right? But for the Taiwanese part of the sub-tree there, or whatever you want to call it, the F-16A MLU didn't receive the upgrade that it deserved, in my opinion, for the M120, right? I still believe that aircraft, I mean, it's basically almost the same aircraft as the F-16AM for the Belgian sub-tree, right? So it's kind of crazy that the F-16 MLU didn't receive M120s and became a full-fledged, you know, top-tier aircraft with an increase in BR. But with that in mind, you know, there are options out there for that tech tree to actually come after the F-16 that would, you know, have this ability. And the first one that comes to mind is obviously the Mirage 2005. Why? Because it already is in the game, so it wouldn't create more like work for Gaijin to actually add a new model like the FCK, for example, would. So it's an aircraft that is already in the game, very easy to add. The weapon systems would be pretty much the same as the French one, and it would make sense, as I said, since the F-16A MLU didn't receive the M120s and an increase in BR, it would make sense to have a full-fledged top-tier aircraft on that kind of sub-tree. But yeah, guys, these are my predictions. Let me know in the comments what are your predictions. A lot of people like to try to do this as well, so let me know in the comments what you think about it. And yeah, it's kind of out there, I know, mine, but we kind of don't know. I mean, last prediction I got almost everything right, but it was because we kind of knew what it was coming. But this time we don't know anything about the patch, right? So I kind of try to go a little bit crazy with this one. But yeah, guys, I see you guys on the next one and in the next patch. And bye, subscribe, let me know in the comments what is your 3 predictions for the next patch. See ya, guys, bye.